Are you ready to take a peek inside the world of chaos? The man who ignited a revolution with a single question: what's the point of being alive if you don't do something remarkable? Well, grab your bar of soap and get ready to dive deep into the mind of Tyler Durden, the charismatic yet chaotic character from the cult classic film Fight Club. But who is Tyler Durden? What drives him to lead a violent and anarchic underground movement? And what is the real meaning behind the mayhem he unleashes upon the world? So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive into the twisted psyche of one of the most enigmatic characters in modern literature and film, Tyler Durden. He's the bad boy, the rebel, the anarchist, the anti-hero, and the leader of the... No, we should not talk about it. Tyler Durden is a central character in the 1999 film Fight Club, based on the novel by Chuck Palahniuk. He's the manifestation of the protagonist's darkest desires, the embodiment of his repressed masculinity, and the catalyst for his awakening. Tyler Durden is the quintessential iconoclast who refuses to be confined by societal norms or moral codes. He's a force of nature, a hurricane of destruction, who seeks to overthrow the status quo and bring chaos to the world. He's the living embodiment of nihilism, who rejects all forms of authority, meaning, and purpose. He's the mastermind behind the underground Fight Club, which serves as a cathartic release for men who are trapped in a consumerist, emasculated, and meaningless existence. But Tyler Durden is not just a rebel without a cause, he's also a philosopher, a visionary, and a prophet. He has a profound understanding of human nature, of the way society functions, and of the true nature of freedom. He's a charismatic speaker who can rally his followers with his impassioned speeches and his radical ideas. He's a revolutionary who seeks to create a new world order based on his own principles and values. The impact of Tyler Durden on Fight Club is immeasurable. He's the engine that drives the plot and the soul that animates the story. He's the driving force behind the narrator's transformation from a passive, conformist, and depressed individual to an active, rebellious, and empowered one. He's the symbol of the protagonist's inner demons, fears, desires, and aspirations. He is the mirror that reflects the dark side of human nature, the shadow that lurks in the depths of the psyche, and the reminder that we are all capable of great evil and great good. Tyler Durden is portrayed as a charismatic, enigmatic, and nihilistic figure who represents an anti-consumerist, anti-capitalist, and anti-establishment philosophy. His philosophy is rooted in a rejection of the cultural values and societal norms that define a modern Western society. He's the man who believes that material possessions and conformity are the ultimate enemies of true happiness and fulfillment. In Tyler's eyes, modern society is nothing more than a hollow shell, with people stuck in meaningless jobs and buying things they don't need, never questioning why they're doing it. The only way to break free from this cycle of emptiness and despair is to completely reject consumerism and societal norms and embrace a more primal, authentic way of life. But it's not just about giving up your stuff. As Tyler famously said, the things you own end up owning you. He believes that material possessions can become a burden, distracting us from what truly matters in life. Tyler encourages people to let go of their possessions and find meaning in personal connections and experiences instead. Tyler also rejects traditional masculinity. He sees modern masculinity as defined by consumerism, conformity, and a lack of emotional depth. In his eyes, men have become weak, passive, and consumerist drones emasculated by modern society. That's why he created the Fight Club, an underground organization where men can come together and beat each other to a pulp as a way of reclaiming their masculinity. Tyler also rejects traditional definitions of success and status, which he sees as based on consumerism and materialism. He encourages men to express their emotions and desires freely, reject societal expectations, and define masculinity on their own terms. But Tyler's philosophy isn't just about rejecting the status quo, it's also inherently anti-establishment. He believes that government, corporations, and other institutions are corrupt and oppressive, designed to keep people in a state of subservience and dependency. Tyler encourages people to resist these forces and take control of their own lives, even if it means engaging in illegal or subversive activities. Ultimately, Tyler's philosophy represents a critique of modern society and a call for people to live more authentically and meaningfully. But it also raises important questions about the limits of individualism and the role of community and social responsibility. Tyler Durden is a character that embodies duality in its purest form. On one hand, he is a charismatic and inspirational leader who rallies men to his cause. And on the other hand, he is a chaotic and destructive force that threatens to tear down everything. He represents the dichotomy between order and chaos, between society and anarchy, and between the rational and the irrational. One of the best examples of Tyler Durden's duality can be seen in the scene where he confronts the protagonist, played by Edward Norton, in the parking lot of a bar. Tyler has just stolen the protagonist's car and crashes it into a parked vehicle, causing a massive explosion. As the protagonist watches in shock, Tyler calmly explains his reasoning behind the destruction. In this scene, Tyler represents both the rational and the irrational sides of his personality. He is rational in the sense that he has a clear and coherent explanation for why he did what he did. He believes that the destruction of the car is a form of liberation, a way of freeing oneself from the material possessions that enslave us. He also believes that destruction is necessary for change to occur, and that the world needs to be shaken up in order for people to wake up to the reality of their lives. However, Tyler's actions are also incredibly irrational and destructive. He has no regard for the safety of others, and his actions are driven purely by his own desires and beliefs. He is willing to destroy a valuable possession and put innocent people's lives in danger just to make a point. This recklessness and disregard for others is a clear example of the destructive side of Tyler's personality. Tyler Durden's methods of resistance in Fight Club are unconventional, radical, and often destructive. He believes in using violence and chaos to upend the status quo and create a new world order based on his own principles and values. One of the main methods of resistance is the creation of Fight Club itself. He also seeks to destroy corporate and consumerist symbols by carrying out acts of vandalism against buildings, billboards, and cars. He also seeks to create chaos and disrupt the order of society through his larger plan, Project Mayhem, which involves the creation of an army of followers who carry out his orders, including acts of vandalism, sabotage, and terrorism. This project ultimately leads to destruction and death, as the members of Project Mayhem become increasingly violent and out of control. But with all these, Tyler Durden in Fight Club signifies a complex and powerful representation of the human psyche. Tyler represents the narrator's repressed desires, and through their unconventional friendship, the narrator is forced to confront his own limitations and break free from societal constraints. However, as their actions become increasingly destructive, the narrator realizes that Tyler is a product of his own imagination, and the line between reality and fantasy become blurred. The push and pull dynamic of their relationship highlights the struggle we all face in reconciling our inner desires with the constraints of society. Through their journey, we are reminded of the importance of self-awareness and the dangers of succumbing to our darkest impulses. Fight Club is a poignant exploration of the human condition, and the relationship between the narrator and Tyler serves as a powerful metaphor for the internal conflicts we all face in our search for identity and meaning. Tyler Durden, the charming and inspiring leader from Fight Club, may have won over the hearts of many with his rebellious and bold persona, but his character is far from perfect. In fact, his actions and beliefs have some serious drawbacks that are hard to overlook, such as narcissism and arrogance. Tyler's narcissism and arrogance led him to believe he knows best for others and feel entitled to impose his views on them, often making reckless and dangerous decisions, like creating Project Mayhem, which endangers innocent lives. Destructive tendencies. Tyler's destructive tendencies go beyond the norm of rebirth and renewal. He takes it to an extreme, causing unnecessary harm and destruction, exemplified by his burning down of the narrator's apartment and destruction of a corporate art museum, causing millions of dollars in damage. Lack of empathy. Tyler lacks empathy and encourages emotional detachment to others, which can have harmful consequences. For example, he tells Project Mayhem members to cut off emotional ties to their loved ones, leading to isolation and loneliness. Overemphasis on physicality. Tyler's emphasis on physical strength and toughness can lead to a one-dimensional view of masculinity and a lack of appreciation for emotional or intellectual development. He creates Fight Club as a way for men to express their physical aggression, which ultimately reinforces harmful gender norms. Tyler Durden was a vital character in the film, serving as a catalyst for the protagonist's transformation and as a warning about toxic masculinity. He represented the protagonist's repressed feelings of aggression and delusionment with society, and his extreme views on physical strength and violence served as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked masculinity. Without Tyler, the film would have been unable to dwell into these themes so effectively. Now we'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on Tyler Durden's character and the film as a whole. What do you think were Tyler's biggest flaws? How do you interpret the film's commentary on toxic masculinity? Share your ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of your favorite films and characters. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.